How much time do you actually spend on homework versus the amount of time on social networking sites? Good morning. I'm Michael Foliano, and here with my partner Alan Tang to represent the negative side. Resolved that the PA Department of Education should place significant restrictions on homework in all public schools. To start off, the negative defines significant restrictions as a limitation with impact to at least a major difference of consequence. We also define homework as a thorough preparatory study of a subject outside of school, all according to dictionary.com. According to Gannett News Service, only about one-third spend an hour or more of each school day on homework, far less than time they typically spend playing sports or hanging out with friends. As much as we do not like homework, we need to understand that it is a necessity in terms of practice and preparation. Think about what would happen if significant restrictions were made on homework. It would diminish academic performance, reduce necessary students' responsibilities, and also equate to a lack of content in the grading system. To begin with, positive academic performance would surely decrease. It has been proved throughout many studies that homework leads to achievement, much more and better achievement than students who do not do their homework. According to the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, across 5 studies, the average 50th percentile homework doer had a higher unit test score than 73% of students not doing homework. This is pure evidence that shows homework does pay off, and shows that the status quo is perfectly fine. And this is backed up by each of the 5 studies. Secondly, it would decrease the amount of student responsibility, a terrible flaw in the affirmative's philosophy. Although this may sound nice to us now, the affirmative is clearly delaying the problem, and it would lead to a huge hit on students in the future. What I mean by this is that students would be substantially less prepared for college responsibilities and less prepared to handle future stress. In college, you will have many different professors, all with different styles of teaching. In order to be ready for this, homework would definitely help because it would make you a better, well-rounded student. As much as the affirmative may try to wave off stress, it must be accepted that it is a part of life, and homework is a way to help students learn to cope with it. Also, the affirmative may argue that too much homework is counterproductive. However, do not let the affirmative side. This may sound legitimate, but it's not. As Harris Cooper states in a synthesis of research, for high school students, the line of progress continued to go up through the highest point of measured scales more than 2 hours of homework. Do not let the affirmative side trick you into thinking it is counterproductive, because it surely is not. Furthermore, it will poorly affect the grading system. If there are decreasing homework assignments, then that means more of your grade will rely on tests and quizzes. Does this sound student-friendly to you? I think not. I think I can speak for many people that they would strongly dislike that. Homework the way it currently stands even helps students' grades. Let's use Upper Dublin for an example. In the first marking period of this year, in 2 of my classes, homework accounted for 40 points in total. One of them 62 points, 68 points, and another 423 points weighted as 15% of my first quarter grade. On top of that, homework also shows that a student is working hard and giving effort to his or her classes. Unfortunately, that cannot be weighted on a test. Clearly, these points reassure the status quo is fine. Lastly, the affirmative side may argue that too much work leads to too much stress. However, anxiety neither harms nor hurts. It depends on how you deal with it, as stated in Time magazine by Sally Winston, co-director of the Anxiety and Stress Disorders Institute of Maryland. They may also argue that it takes away time for other things. But let's be honest, guys. How much time do you actually spend on homework compared to what you actually receive? Think about if you refrained yourself from doing unnecessary things, such as going on Facebook and Twitter. To conclude, the negative side would like to keep the status quo. How would you like it if your academic performance decreased? What about if you were drastically hit in college because you were insufficiently prepared? How would you like if your grades were solely based and weighed on quiz and test scores? I know I wouldn't, and one would be foolish to disagree. Do not get me wrong. The negative side does not like doing homework either. We are students too. However, we realize the necessities and benefits it has, and you should too. Do your homework and vote negative. Thank you.